Hello, anyone wishing to speak, you need to fill out a speaker's card in the back. Thank you. If everyone rise for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening, everyone. My name is Keith Sullivan. I'm chairman of the board. We're going to open up our public speaking portion. First speaker is Timothy Harold, is it? Harrell? Come on up here, I'll give you the mic.
Good evening, hello. Good evening. My name is Timothy Harrell. I'm with the New York City Civilian Complaint Review Board. We're a New York City agency that's independent of the NYPD. What we do is we investigate, we mediate, and in some cases, we prosecute allegations of misconduct against members of the NYPD. We have an actual board that consists of 13 members, 5 are appointed by the New York City Mayor, 5 are appointed by the New York City Council, and 3 are appointed by the NYPD Police Commissioner. But even these 3 are civilians, they're the only ones who have prior law enforcement background. I really came just to make a quick announcement. So every month we hold a public board meeting in a town hall fashion. 1 month we're at our office at 100 Church Street on the 10th floor between the hours of 4 and 6 p.m. And every other month we're in a different borough in a neighborhood where that precinct has a high number of complaints lodged against it. We invite the immediate precinct out as well as the community in an effort to create a dialogue between the two in an effort to improve police community relations. So on May 8th, we will be in the Bronx. We will be at the community center at the Bronx River Nicer Houses Development. That meeting will start at 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. That is the 43rd precinct. We invite everyone to come out. We do not necessarily have to live in a borough or in that particular neighborhood that we're hosting a board meeting to come out and voice their opinions, views, concerns about policing in the community. So we will be there from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. It's held in a town hall fashion. If you would like to attend and you would like to speak and voice your opinions, views, or concerns, all you have to do is indicate that you would like to speak, and your name will be called. We also do presentations. We go everywhere.
What night should we meet?
Bronx River Houses. It's located at 1619 East 174th Street, and we'll be at the Bronx River Community Center.
Could you leave me your card? I'm a precinct council resident. I'd love to invite you to one of our precinct council meetings. Speak there.
Good, thank you. I actually just inherited the Bronx, so I actually service Manhattan.
Okay.
My co-worker,
My contact person, that's all.
definitely, but I am actually servicing Manhattan, the Bronx, and a part of Staten Island. So, I'm a little. Thank you very much. So, my contact, if you'd like to reach me, my number is 212-912-7280, and my email is tharrell, that's T as in Tom, H as in horse, ARRELL at ccrb.nyc.gov. Thank you.
Maria Janas. Hope I pronounced that right.
Janash?
Donati.
Good evening. My name is Maria Giannacci, and I am the founder and organizer of the New York City Concord. The New York City Concord is a cultural event that we would like to bring to the Bronx, to Orchard Beach, actually. A Concord is a high-end classic car show. It's different than a cruise night. It's rare, exotic, vintage, and classic cars. And historically, it attracts the ultra-wealthy one-percenters. And our mission is to change that and to make it more interesting to a youthful and more diverse demographic, and bring this type of event to the Bronx that would bring a new element to the area to kind of showcase the Bronx to this collector car world that should be represented in New York City. So I'm here in hopes to get support from the community to bring this event. We would like to engage the community by having schools involved, Bronx schools that have automotive or technology mobility programs, as well as STEM education. We want to kind of bring a whole educational entertainment element for kids to get involved in automotive and mobility, the future of the car. We also are looking to showcase the Bronx, where most of these people would come to New York City and go to the typical tourist attractions in the city. We'd like to push these people more towards the Bronx as opposed to the Empire State Building or the World Trade Center or whatever. So we want to work with you and to bring this to Orchard Beach. I've met with the Parks Department, and they told me that I have to get community involved, and I'm happy to do that because I grew up in the city without access to these types of events, and that's my motivation to bring something here so we can all benefit from these pieces of art and artifacts of the collector car world. My phone number is 917-403-8060. My name's Maria.
I guess you're looking for a lot of support.
Yes.
When do you want to hold this event?
September, we want it to be an annual event, with the first event to be this September 15th.
Right. I don't like, this wasn't to be voted on tonight, so it will have to be tabled back to Hawks. All right, so, for a letter of support. So, we have the contact number,
I think we sell Bronx Tours in your office.
Yes,
Great.
yes.
And what do they have to say?
They're all in.
Great.
They're all in.
Actually, we could have was trying.
Go ahead, Mary Jane.
Unfortunately, I don't know the names, but I know that there's an organization for antique cars in the
There are, there's a couple of big cars here, yes. Very
Go ahead, Maria. John Morano, hold on.
Maria,
You were in touch with somebody with the other organization that Mary Jane talking about, anti-show?
Yeah, the frogs that car club I've been in touch with. Nick. Through the people, they do a car cruise at
I do,
Trump.
it's me and another gentleman.
At Trump.
Right.
Yeah, I've worked with them to talk to whoever is organized. there.
Myself and Nick.
So we want to get you involved in this. It's, you know, we're all the car community is all one big community. So we want to do this.
Before we leave, we'll business problem on that.
Susan's gonna contact you, let you know when the calendar is set up. All right, one more question.
Maria, have you been in touch with Operating East?
No, I have not reached out to any schools yet because I want to secure the venue, the location first. And then, it's kind of the chicken and the egg.
I have contact over there, so if you need, once you secure it, let me know.
Once we get the location, I will, oh, wonderful, thank you. Yes, it's kind of a basic site right now, because we're waiting for the venue. It's thenycconcord.com. CONCOURS.com.
All right. Thank you. There's a black SUV license plate number G82HLL that needs to be moved. Anybody in here?
The car's being moved.
It's being moved? There goes that. Okay, just a reminder for all the board members, the sign-in sheets in the back, please make sure you sign in if you haven't. And another side note there is, it's hard enough to hold a meeting, let's keep the side banter down just a little bit, please. Paulette, Spencer?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Paulette Spencer, and I'm here from the Bronx Community Health Network. I am the Community Engagement Policy Analyst for a program called Advancing Precision Medicine, All of Us. And so this is a program that was initiated under the Obama administration to address health disparities, and particularly to look at communities that are traditionally underrepresented in medical research. And I head the program to involve more such communities from the Bronx in this national database, which is being formed for future clinicians to use to individualize medical care. So I'm here to speak about two events that we will be holding in May at the Bronx Library Center. On May 3rd and May 17th, both of which are Fridays, we will be having an information session and town hall meeting with some of our medical colleagues to discuss research in communities underrepresented in the field. So I'm inviting you to come, and this is free of charge, and we will be looking at illnesses that play the Bronx in particular. So on the 3rd of May, we will have someone looking, one of our professors from Einstein College of Medicine discussing lupus. We'll also be discussing cardiovascular disease as well as a urologist. Then the 17th, we're going to be discussing neurology, also cardiovascular diseases, as well as mental health. And so the second part of our panel our program will include a discussion on medical ethics. We'll have representation from the Bronx Community Research Review Board, which is a grassroots organization that fields medical researchers for their knowledge of the communities that they're going to be working in. So I invite you to attend one or both. The format will be similar in both meetings, but the content will be different. If you want to learn more about this, you can also watch BronxNet next Monday at 10 a.m. I will be interviewed by Bob Wall on the open program. And I'm going to have these flyers in the back for you. Again, my name is Paulette Spencer. If you wish to call me, my number is on the flyers, but my phone number is 929-220-8177. And my email address is pspencer, P-S-P-E-N-C-E-R, at bchnhealth.org. BCHN stands for Bronx Community Health. So I hope you join us, and thank you for your attention. The Bronx Library Center. That's 310 East Kingsbridge Road, right near Fulham.
Ellen, Yopel, hello?
Great. Hello everyone. Again, thank you guys for letting me come out today. My name is Ellen Upel. I am from New York Roadrunners. We've had a free run walk program at Pelham Bay Park for about a year now. Every Thursday at 7 p.m. we meet at Sweet Gum Playground and we do a run walk. It's just under 3 miles. We'd love to get more people out. I actually have one of our volunteer run directors here today. Greg, you want to give him a wave? He's here today to kind of give you guys a heads up after the meeting if you guys have really big questions about Pelham Bay in particular. But we just wanted to give you guys heads up that we are out here. We are every week, every Thursday at 7 p.m. We want everyone to keep coming out. Does anybody have any questions? Walk. I only walk it, so don't even worry. Walking is great anytime. It's all community-based, so it's all based on volunteers. So I live in the neighborhood. I actually live on Einstein's campus, so I'm usually there every couple of Thursdays. So we just want to get more people out and invite everybody to come and kind of hang out. It's going to be beautiful the next couple of weeks. We'd love to have everybody join us. I have my information on in my car, so I'll bring that in. But my number is 646-761-1764. Again, we just like to give you guys a heads up that we want more people to come out. If anybody lives closer to some other parks, we also have a program at Crotona. We also have a program at Soundview and at St. Mary's. So we're all over the Bronx. We currently have 17 parks. We just opened up a park in New Jersey, in Jersey City, so that's kind of a big push. New York Roadrunners now in New Jersey, kind of fun. We have some 5Ks coming up, so take a look at our website. Specifically for Open Run, we have our own mini site, openrun.nyrr.org. You sign up online, you go to any open run you want. We'd love to see you guys out there. I know we will be there tomorrow. It should be nice out, and a little cloudy, but no rain, so it'll be nice. Questions or concerns, we'll be here. Thank you for letting us come, and if I talk too fast, I apologize.
Thank you. I don't think our next speaker needs the mic, but I'll hand it to him. Bobita.
Hang on to it. Okay, so I just wanted to mention a couple of things to our board members as well as the community. First off, we have the 45th Precinct Community Council breakfast, which will be Wednesday, May 8th, where we'll be honoring Joe Boyko posthumously, Luis Giacco from City Island, Sister Celine Mary Flores from Providence West, Muhammad Ali, from the Zurich Community Center, and Andrew Chirico, our very own Andrew Chirico. Thank you, Andrew. And Joyce Wilson from Co-op City. Tickets are $20 a piece. The breakfast again is May 8th at 8:30 in the morning at the Villa in Villarone. If anybody wants tickets, I have them available tonight. Or call me or reach out to me, however you like. The other thing I wanted to mention is it seems like we need to honor our members. The Frogs Neck Volunteer Ambulance Corps is having their 40th anniversary gala, and two of our members here are going to be honored, Jim McQuaid and Marjorie Velasquez. So I thought it only fitting that at least somebody from the board should try to show up and have a table. If we get tickets for a table of 10 before April 30th, it will be $70 a person. So if anybody wants to go, I don't mind handling it. Just let me know you want to go. I'll be more than happy to make the reservations and make the arrangements. Again, that is Saturday, May 18th at 7 p.m. That's going to be at International Caters right here at 3243 Ampere Avenue. And I really think we should support not only for the Frogs Neck Ambulance, but for our members. Thank you for your time.
Giulio Cementelli.
Oh, but they're just happy to see me. Good evening to all. Giulio Cementelli. I want to talk about, although I participated in 2 committee meetings, and some of the issue was raised, and it's going to be raised. I'm talking about 2800 Brooklyn Boulevard. A few years ago, we all rallied, we went in front of the place, rah, rah, rah. We don't want a drug center, we don't want this, all the photo opportunities. Now we're dealing with the same issue. So I hope all the same people that were there for the photo op show up. We need to stand with our community. We don't need drug rehab programs in the middle of residential areas. So I hope you're there. Thank you on that subject. I also would like to talk about Pelham Bay. We had a recent stabbing of a youth. We're not sure what happened, although the street speaks and the street says that it's gang related. Probably an initiation. Young man was stabbed. I don't know if he survived or not. I hope he did, God willing. But Pelham Bay has been complaining once. 5 years, 6 years. I've been requesting for a police officer to be stationed from 4 o'clock on to possibly 12 o'clock. That's all I ask. I've asked 3 captains or 1 inspector. 2 captains, 1 inspector. In the 45th precinct, I haven't had the opportunity to catch the next one. I got confused. I thought I had the captain walk it in. I read the corner him, but it's the Triborough Police. And I want to request a police officer from 4 to 12. That's all I'm asking for on the Pelham Bay Station. It becomes a madhouse on the Pelham Bay Station. It is crazy at Pelham Bay Station. It's not something, I'm not asking for the world to stop turning. And I'm hoping that this community board will ask the new captain for a police officer. In the summertime is around the corner, and there's a lot of issues at Pelham Bay Station. It's become, there are safer areas in the South Bronx than Pelham Bay Station. Safer areas. So I hope to get your support. I hope every member here, I hope the leadership here, please speak to the new captain. Ask for a patrol. Thank you so much.
Keep it out till as long as you want. That was this.
Yes, from the elected officials' offices, Farah from Councilmember Jones. Oh, excuse me. Sorry.
Oh, good
Good evening, everyone. My name is Joseph. I just want to make a quick announcement. My church is doing a raffle program, so I just wanted to announce the raffle program. They gave me 20 copies. One raffle ticket is $5. However, a booklet has 5 tickets, and it's $20. Essentially, if you get a booklet, you save more money. So if you wish to buy, please let me know at the end of the meeting, and then I'll get back to you. Thank you so much.
Now Farah, Councilmember Joe Nigel.
Hi, my name is Farah from Councilman Jonah's office. I just wanted to make a few announcements about several services and mobile office events we've been doing throughout the neighborhood. We have been going out to several places in the district to really let people know what their councilman's doing for them and what services can be provided. It's not easy for everyone to come to our office. So we do have free legal service van coming to our office May 14th. If you have a legal issue, you can call, make a reservation, and call our office. We also are doing mobile office hours at the Westchester Square train station. We also have another one coming up at Pelham Bay Park, so maybe we'll ask the police to come stand there with us when we go. And then we also have Father's Day brunch you could sign up for, again, if you call our office. And we have lots of different events. If you go to the table, I have lots of flyers for. I also just want to make one quick announcement about a bill that the councilman sponsored. It's bill number 1010 regarding the trouble we've been having with the tractor trailers parking overnight. So they just passed a bill to raise the fines quite heftily. It's a start to try to address this issue. So we're very happy that we can get that passed, and we're just waiting for the mayor's signature on that. So it'll be $400 for the first fine, $800 for the next, and it'll keep going up from that point on. Thank you.
Miriam Tirado, from San Mr. office.
We provide constituent services, documents, all information you can find it in the flyers that I give you back. The Senator is working very hard in the bill for the criminal, working in the criminal justice law. And on May 17th, we're going to have a job fair for the community. So you can find the flyers in the back too. We hope that every one of you have a happy Easter. And that's it from me. Have a great evening.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Leon Colton. I'm here representing Assemblymember Benedetto. I just wanted to give everyone an update as far as as everyone knows, the state budget was passed and thankfully passed on time. So I just wanted to give you a quick summary in regards to how the state budget affects the education. So just to let you know, the state lawmakers, they increased the overall aid to education by $1 billion. And for those who know about the issue about mayoral control, the state did extend mayoral control over the New York City public schools for an additional 3 years. Also, in regards to the the Educational Policy Board, the state added 2 additional parents to it because I think prior there was no parental participation, so this was like a way of trying to increase that. And also the state lawmakers, they have continued funding for higher educational opportunity programs. So some of these programs you may be familiar with, EOP, SEEP, and CSTEP. This is something that's actually personal to me because I'm actually a graduate of EOP. Back when I was a student at NYU, I actually came through the HEOP program, and that was something that was very beneficial to me to be able to get my education. So on a personal level, I'm very happy that the lawmakers have decided to continue on that. Anyway, so that's the update as far as like in the field of education. Of course, our office is, we have 2 offices, one in East Park. East Tremont. The other is over in Co-op City where I'm located at. So if there's anything that we can do for you, definitely feel free to give us a call. Thank you. Yes.
You know, now that mayoral control has been reinstated, I was wondering, you know, the police, the fire, sanitation, and parks are all coterminous with community parks. Department of Education is not, schools are not. Is that something we should reach out to the state or the city about changing?
That is a good question.
Can you find out and get back to me?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah.
At this point, I'd like to make a motion to close the public speaking portion.
Motion to close.
Chairman.
Are you Destiny Cruz? Yes. Okay, that's like Destiny talking.
Okay, right after Destiny. Well, motion to make Destiny the last speaker. So after
Unless something
Destiny,
else comes along.
public speaker will be available.
Hi folks, thank you for making me the last public speaker. My name is Destiny Cruz and I'm with Congressmember Ocasio-Cortez. I am a proud Bronxite, which is why Queens transportation is not my friend. But I do have a few updates for you folks. First, I want to let you know that I'll be leaving these flyers in the back. These are our constituent flyers, so if you guys have any questions, feel free to contact us via the information here. Secondly, we have a newsletter that we hope to be sending out to you folks very soon. If anyone wants to be signed up to the newsletter, which will include information on events, things that the Congresswoman has been doing, and if you have any other questions, you can send them out through the newsletter. So I have a sign-in sheet. Please find me here. I'll be here till the end. And one final note, I'm excited to say that we're very close to opening a Bronx office. Right now, we have a Queens office in Jackson Heights. Our office is probably going to be around the Pelham Parkway area, so just keep in the loop. If you guys get the sign-in for the newsletter, then I'll be able to provide you with more information about that. So again, I'm Destiny Cruz, and I'll be your direct representative to the Congresswoman. Okay, thank you.
This was sent over to your office, but I didn't get a response.
Okay.
So can you get back to me
I
on that?
definitely, I'll flag it to our schedule.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Does anyone have any questions? All right, thanks folks.
So we're going to start with the MTA Bridges and Tunnels presentation.
Last but not least, thanks guys.
Thank you, Matt. Hello, everyone. Board, thank you for having us. My name is Joyce Mulvaney, Director of Community Affairs and Customer Relations at MTA Bridges and Tunnels, also known as Triborough Bridge and Tunnel Authority, or TBTA. We're going to tell you an update on some Throgs Neck Bridge construction projects, which I know you're all eager to learn about. We've advanced some information to Matt before and the board about some things that are ongoing, and a couple of projects, the big projects, our engineers are here to tell you about. So again, I'm Joyce, and my team here is the Deputy Chief Engineer for TVTA, Aris Stepopoulos. I have Ed Knightley, who is the longtime Facility Engineering Director at Throgs Neck. He lives and breathes Throgs Neck, and the bridge is in excellent hands, especially for these two big projects we have coming. I also have Marlene Thompson, who is our Operations Director for Bridges East. We call, covers the Bronx Whitestone as well as the Throgs Neck Bridge. So Marlene has her hands full, but they're very capable hands. Then we've got our law enforcement in the corner there. We've got Captain Owens, and we have Captain Barnwell, Bridges East officers, and they watch out for traffic management and toll violators, among many other things. And then last but not least, I have Mallory Ginsberg, who works with me in Community Affairs Customer Relations. So without further ado, we're going to just go through the presentation here, and then we're happy to take any questions the board or anybody has. And let's kick it on. Aris?
Thank you, Joyce. Good evening, everyone. My name is Aris Stepopoulos. I'm Deputy Chief Engineer with MTA Bridges and Tunnels. First of all, thank you for inviting us to your meeting this evening. And thank you for your interest in the Throgs Neck Bridge. It's one of my favorite bridges. There's a few others that I'm very partial to, including the Whitestone and Verrazano bridges, but Throgs Neck is definitely a historic structure. And I want to say that we are committed to continuing to invest in the Throgs Neck Bridge, and we're committed to ensuring that it's safe. We continue to invest to ensure it's in a state of good repair, and to make improvements. So going forward, the operations of the bridge, the neighboring community that lives around the bridge, making those improvements to improve the environment and to ensure that this structure serves many generations, including our children and grandchildren, for many, many more years to come. With that said, we have two projects that we're going to discuss here tonight that we have planned. And I will go into more detail in the presentation about these two major investments that we're about to make into the structure. These two include, first is the restoration and what we call reprofiling of the Bronx Plaza and Approach roadway. As you know, the toll plazas were demolished recently. It was a major improvement to traffic flow in the region. However, we want to improve it even more. We have a very wide paved area. We want to reduce the paved area. We want to streamline the approach, improve the transition from the Bronx onto the bridge. This will improve traffic flow even more. It'll, as I mentioned, reduce the amount of green paved area. We're going to improve the green space. It'll reduce the amount of demand into the drainage system. We've been at community board meetings before, and there's certain concerns that the community has had in the past. We listen to your concerns, and when the opportunity arises, such as this, we try to address them when we can. So I'm going to go on some of those improvements that we've been able to make with these projects, but this is going to be a significant and major improvement to the previous plaza area, and I'll go into more detail on that and show you some renderings that we have. The second project I'd like to talk about is work on the suspended span of the structure. The roadway in the suspended span is original. It was built in the early 60s. It served the facility well, the bridge well. However, it needs to be replaced. We have replaced similar roadways on our other bridges, at the Verrazano and the Whitestone, and it's come time to replace the main roadway on suspended span. It is a significant investment, and I'll go into more detail how we're going to do that to ensure that we mitigate traffic. We have a very comprehensive plan and a strategy that we've used at other facilities very successfully, and how we're going to do that. We're going to improve the strength of the structure. It'll have better seismic performance, so if in case of an earthquake, it'll be able to be very resistant to that type of event. Also, it'll improve the bridge's ability to handle major windstorms. If there's a hurricane, the bridge will be able to stand much higher windstorms. We're also going to make structural steel repairs to the truss. That's the structure on the side of the structure that you see there. We call that the truss, to stiffen up the structure and improve its strength and resiliency. So this project is going to start underway very shortly with some preliminary work. But the major work on the suspended span, what we call deck staging reconstruction work, is not going to start until sometime in the early summer of 2020. And I'll go into more detail about that work. First, on the Bronx Plaza area, as I mentioned, where we're going to restore the Bronx Approach roadway for enhanced highway travel. What that means is going to be new roadway, new traffic barriers. There will be a new drainage system for the roadway, new lighting on the roadway. The entrance from Harding Avenue will be improved, so it's a better merge with the main line, so it'll be able to have better traffic flow, better sight lines for the drivers, and it'll be a safer merge. Those high mast towers that were providing lighting for the old Toll Plaza area are going to be removed, and new, more efficient LED lighting in the roadway will be installed. This will reduce the amount of light pollution in the community area and the spillover into the neighborhood. So it'll be more effective road lighting for the roadway itself, but it'll reduce the amount of spillover lighting, as I mentioned. The unused pavement areas are going to be restored. New turf is going to be established in green space. And also there's a sound wall, sound barrier, that divides the roadway between the local neighborhood. We're going to extend that sound wall so that it reduces the potential for noise into the local neighborhood. So this is a rendering of once we begin the work, how we're going to do it. Basically, there's enough space right now because of the old, large Toll Plaza area to maintain 3 lanes of travel in both directions while creating the work zone in the middle of the area. And then we're going to restore the roadway and then bring traffic back to the final configuration. We're able to do that without having to close any traffic lanes during the day and maintain traffic hours. So we don't expect any major traffic backups associated with this work. So once this is an overview of the area of the final configuration of the roadway. As you can see, it's going to maintain the 3 lanes going to the bridge, and it'll have 3 lanes coming from the bridge, and then it'll open up to 4 lanes to meet the highways downstream. The new turf areas are going to be created, shown in green here. Substantial amount of turf areas are going to be created. This is a rendering of the final configuration with roadways, more streamlined roadway, and new turf areas on both sides. Moving on to the deck replacement project. The project is the suspended span of the bridge, which is from the Bronx Anchorage to the Queens Anchorage. That's where the deck is going to be replaced. We're also going to be installing new roadway lighting across the entire span, including the approaches, with better lighting, high efficiency LED lighting, and improved roadway lighting. And as well as a fire standpipe system will be installed across the entire span for the use of the fire department in case of an emergency. Some painting on the bridge, New median barriers will be installed, and the side barriers will be new as well. Some electrical and communication upgrades, and as well as some strengthening and steel repairs that are going to be made on the structure. So the limits, as I mentioned, in the middle is the extent of the deck replacement. So it's about 1/3 of the entire suspended structure, but it's the main suspended span from one anchorage to the other. And then the approaches on either side are going to have the new lighting, as I mentioned, and the fire standpipe system. So how are we going to do this work without messing up traffic and messing up your commutes? So you can go to work every day and visit friends and relatives and go about your business without having to be too much inconvenienced too much. So this is a strategy that was very successful, as I mentioned, at other facilities. The first thing that we do is take the fixed center median that's in the bridge out. And then a movable barrier is installed. It's like a zipper. And a machine comes across the bridge and moves it every day from one side to the other. What that allows us to do is to maintain 3 lanes in the peak travel direction. So during the middle of the day, the zipper is moved to prepare for the evening rush. And then after the evening rush is over, then it's moved back to prepare for the morning rush. So we're always able to maintain 3 lanes in the peak travel direction to accommodate traffic capacity while we're taking 1 lane out of service to replace the deck. So this is done in stages. As we start on one side of the roadway and move all the way across. It's about, we estimate 15 months of actual deck replacement once the contractor starts of this movable barrier operation and this configuration. However, we do have incentives for the contractor to finish earlier. We're incentivizing and encouraging the contractor to finish earlier. If the contractor goes beyond the 15 months, there's liquidated damages, it's like a penalty, so that to encourage him to stay on schedule or finish even earlier. Some of the other strategies that are used on the project to reduce the potential for impact. Temporary gantries, these are crane gantries that are going to be installed on the bridge in order to facilitate the construction and reduce the need to have actual mobile cranes that come onto the bridge to move the deck panels in place. So these temporary gantries will be constructed, will be installed, and the contractor can work inside the stage construction without having to take a lane out of service in the adjacent lanes, and reduces the potential for impact to traffic. This is a photo of the actual construction of the Bronx-Whitestone Bridge when we did the deck. A similar strategy was used there, where we used these temporary gantries. Here's some other photos of similar construction that we implemented at the Verrazano as well as at the Bronx-Whitestone bridges. On the upper left, you see the deck panels being lined up, getting ready to go in place. On the upper right, a deck panel is being lifted with the gantry crane being prepared to be put in place. Some similar photos shows the construction. On the lower left, the deck panel has been raised over the open area and being dropped in place. So it's a very well-planned and efficient operation that we anticipate. Again, this was very successfully implemented at the Verrazano Bridge. I do want to mention that the Verrazano is about
Twice the size,
at least 2 to 2.5 times the size of this structure. So it had over 900 panels that we had installed. This project has about 200. What do we have? 450 in this 450 on this facility.
How long did the Verrazano take?
We had, it took us about 19 months. We had planned 24, and we had an incentive in the contract, and the contractor accelerated the work, met the incentive, and did it approximately 19 months. But it's a much larger structure.
Right.
We had planned 15 months for this work, and we do have an incentive. We anticipate the contractor to be aggressive and finish, hopefully finish earlier than the 15 months.
And that's for the deck replacement, not the whole project. There's a lot of other things going on, but the impact to customers is the deck
Right,
replacement.
I'm focusing on the portion of the work that's on the roadway, the stage construction, because that's where we're going to have that 3-2 configuration with the zipper barrier. There's a lot of pre-work that goes along with the project. However, that's not going to have any major impacts. So some of the community and customer considerations that we plan into these projects I've listed here. For the civil work on the Bronx side, the toll plaza area improvements, as I mentioned, we're going to maintain all lanes of traffic, 3 on both sides during the day. If there's any traffic lane closures that are needed for the construction, they'll happen late at night, so it doesn't inconvenience the public. So we do have an incentive for the contractor to finish the work as quickly as possible. We anticipate the work in the roadway to be 12 weeks. So it's a very aggressive schedule, and we've incentivized the contractor to finish even earlier, as I mentioned. Once the 12-week stage work is over, the roadway will be restored in its final configuration, and then the remaining work is just going to be restoration outside of the roadway, establishing turf and so on. But it won't impact the roadway at all. Some other improvements that we're planning for the project, as I mentioned before, to improve the sound wall, or actually extend the sound wall, to reduce the potential for noise in the local neighborhood. We are establishing quite a bit of turf space. One of the concerns that was raised in the past is the amount of drainage from the roadway going into the drainage system. We're reducing the paved area by at least 50%. So that means at least 50% or more reduction in the amount of drainage going into the drainage system. So that was one of the goals of the project, is to reduce the potential for drainage going into the drainage system. Also, we're coordinating this work with the Whitestone. Similar improvements are being done with the Whitestone. That work has begun already, but we will not start the Throgs Neck roadway work until the